Yo, so Jimmy G here with my boy Dr. Thomas Ellis of McNeil Nutritionals.
I'm sorry, it's actually L's.
So Dr. Ellis, like, I'm surprised with a company like McNeil Nutrition about healthy people and stuff. They actually have a doctor on staff. So, like, Dr. Ellis, like, how does that work? Like, how many patients do you see in a usual day and stuff?
Oh, I'm not that type of a doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a doctor of science.
So you're not really a doctor then. I have like this thing here that's been itching me right here. Right. So, like, what would you recommend that somebody would do for something like that?
You probably should see your own medical practitioner, your personal physician, and I would have them check that out if it's bothering.
So, yes. You work with Ron Evanston, right, on the GMB. So, like, I'm feeling like Ron Evanston probably wears a rug on his head. Is that, you think that's true?
Well, I think you mean Don Evanston, and you know, I really
yeah, because like people say when they look behind Ron's head, they see like a little thread and stuff coming off.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, so like we was hearing that you're working on like a Splenda salt.
Yeah, no, I can't disclose any projects that we'd be working on.
So it's sort of like Splenda sugar, but it's salt. So like I put some Splenda salt on my French fries.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be able to talk about any projects that we're working on. Is there anything else you'd like to? Can I tell you about some of the projects we are?
No, I think we're good. Thank you for sitting down with Jimmy G.
Yeah, fine.
Yo, Jimmy G in the house. Here with my man Paul Eric of the Worldwide CIA.
You got the wrong name. It's Eric Paul.
Right. So Paul, you worked with the CIA. Tell me, like, what's that like? You like work on Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq. So how was that?
The name's Eric. First name Eric, last name Paul. So very simple. And not CIA, it's GSI. A whole different world. It's not
I'm so it's like that show on TV, like where they're doing like murder investigations and stuff, and they're looking through the microscope, and they find like a fiber, and it makes a guy guilty of murder and stuff. Like, so that's cool, man.
No, that's
like what you work on.
No, that's
it's like CSI.
No, not CSI. This is all about GSI. This is about consumer.
Okay, so like Paul, like. When you're at the GMB meetings, and like Mike Conway, he takes his shirt off during the meeting, does that ever like bother you a little bit?
When he flexes? You mean when he's all puffed up?
Yeah, like, you know, when he flex like that.
Yeah, it comes with the territory. I'm used to
so
it.
So it's not really bothering you or nothing?
Yeah, well, unless it's not during lunch, as long as it's not during lunchtime.
Okay, so like, Paul, like I was thinking about the holidays. If you found out like Barry Letizio, he like shot a reindeer with like a bow and arrow, and then he ate it at like the holiday party. Would that like bother you?
Yeah, we would probably do some consumer immersion work with Barry and try to really peel back the layers
so it wouldn't
and
really
understand what was behind that.
It wouldn't bother you all that bad.
That's beer.
So yo, Paul, so like when you're at GMB so like Paul, when you're at GMB meetings and you like look over at Ron Evanston, do you ever think maybe like he got a rug on his head? Because it looks like, if you look at his hair real careful, a lot of people say like it's not natural. Like you can see a little thread on the neck and stuff.
I think Don looks good however he shows up.
But you think it's like not real natural?
I'm not going
so like when you look at it, it looks a little crooked and stuff?
Never thought about it.
No?
No.
So that's Jimmy G in the house with my main man Paul Eric. Okay, yo, so Jimmy G in the house. I'm here with Marcel Blakeney, who's the Worldwide Director of Human Recreation.
Human Resources.
So, like, human recreation is sort of like, so you're sort of like a park ranger. So, like, when you come to work, you wear one of those hats. It's got like the thing like a Smokey Bear type hat.
No, we don't wear hats in Human Resources.
So, like, what is job in like recreation of human? Like, it's like, do you ride a horse to work to like check the trails and stuff?
No, we don't. I drive my car to work.
And do you make like sure that nobody like starts a forest fire like accidentally and stuff?
Well, yeah, you can say that. We put out forest fires. We try to work with people to make sure that they don't you know, have major types of eruptions and fires in the workplace.
So like the people on the second floor, like that work for AmeriHealth, you know, downstairs, do you think they're like sort of suspicious looking people? Like, do you, when you walk around, do you look at them and say, you know what, there's something not quite right?
No.
That kind of makes you scared and stuff?
No, not really.
No, you just think they're okay?
I think they're okay.
I think there's something like a little bit sort of sneaky about them. When you're at a GMB meeting and you're like, does it bother you that sometimes like Mike Conway, he takes his shirt off at the GMB meeting, he takes his shirt off?
I've never really seen Mike take his shirt off.
Yeah, but you saw him like roll his sleeves up and like flex like that sometimes.
Well, I've noticed that he has, you know, Mike is very athletic and he exercises, and it's just natural for him to have
Yeah, but
muscles.
do you think he like should be flexing and stuff when he's at the table?
No.
When you sitting like at GMB, you look over at Ron Evanston.
Right.
Do you look at Ron and you say, you know what, I think he might be wearing a rug on his head?
You talking about Don Evanston?
Yeah, Ron Evanston.
Who's our VP of Business Development?
Yeah, so
Yes.
like, do you look at it and say, it doesn't, his hair, it ain't on quite straight?
No, I never look at him that way and say that his hair.
You think it's a rug though, right?
No, I don't think it's a rug.
But sometimes when you look real close at it, you can almost see like little eyes in there moving around, like it's an animal on his head.
Not quite. No,
Alright,
never
that's
heard
Jimmy
that.
G. Jimmy G in the house of Marcella Blakeney from McNeil Nutritional Human Recreation.
Resources. Human resources.
Jimmy G in the house. Yo, it's Jimmy G here with my main man, Mark Edgerton, Worldwide Director of Operation for McNeil Nutritionals. You're responsible for, like, the building, right, and everything?
Yes.
So, like, Mark, if I gave you a choice and I said, Mark, would you rather eat, like, a plate of, like, regurgitated earthworms or go downstairs and eat in the cafeteria? Like, which one would you choose?
Tough call. I'm going for cafeteria.
You're going, okay, so you go cafeteria. So like Mark, if Barry Letizio, if you found out Barry like shot a reindeer and like ate it for his holiday party, would that, like, what would you think of that?
Barry does that, so I'm okay with it.
So that's okay for you if he like
Yes.
shoots reindeer. Okay, so Mark, like,
Not Rudolph.
if
or
like the GMB was like on a sinking ship and stuff, and like there was only like enough life preservers for everybody but one, like who would you throw off the ship?
Wow, that's a tough one.
So, okay, so
So
like,
I would make sure that Jim Thornton survived.
okay, so yeah, so that's a lot of people are saying that and stuff. So, Mark, like if you was in a board meeting and you look over like at Ron Evanston, do you feel he's wearing a wig? Because some people say like when he turns his head, they can see like a little bit of like knitting and like some thread and stuff hanging.
I don't think he's wearing a wig, but I think he's got.
But it
pecking
doesn't.
plans.
Look right, right? You think it doesn't?
There's something going on there. I don't think
yeah,
it's
it
a wig.
doesn't look exactly right.
You think
right?
like implants or something?
It could be, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes, like when you're in a GMB meeting and like Rhonda Johnson doesn't agree with like Bridget, do you ever hear like go bullshit like that under her breath?
Now, I've never seen Rhonda not agree with Bridget.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so that's my main man, Mark Edgerton from Operations. Thank you for being on the Jimmy G Show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yo, it's Jimmy G here with my boy Steve Canoli from McNeil Nutritional. Steve, how did you get the name of an Italian dessert?
It's not really an Italian dessert, Catani.
Steve Catani.
Catani.
Oh, I thought it was cannoli. So Steve, did you discover, you're the guy that discovered sucralose, is that right?
Not really discovered it, but participated in its development.
So, like if the Chinese came to you and said, Steve, we'll pay you double your salary to give us the secret of sucralose, you would do that?
No, I wouldn't do that, but I could.
Do you think Ron Evanston wears a wig?
Don Evanston.
Ron Evanston on the GMB, you think he's wearing a rug on his head?
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay, so Steve, if you was gonna throw one person off the GMB, who would you pick?
Probably that guy Jim Thornton.
You'd get him off?
Yeah, he'd be off.
Yeah, I'm hearing that from a lot of people today.